Hey, Brook Scholars, welcome back to Remote Learning with me, Mr. Scott. Happy Thursday. Let's see, we are up to our letters I and J in our ABC Countdown to Summer. I is for inside out, and so as you can see, I've turned my shirt inside out and my collar is folded in. Yes, and my whoop, it's over on this side now. The whale is over there. There we go. I've also got on this rather spiffy hat. It's actually my wife's hat, which is why it looks absolutely ridiculous balanced on my head. So hopefully you are wearing your clothes inside out because it's Inside Out Day. I for Inside Out, and then J is for jokes. And as we're going to be reading a nonfiction text about kites today, I want to ask you this joke. Are you ready? Why can you never give Elsa a kite? Because she'll always let it go. Get it? Let it go, let it go. Anyway, so nonfiction, as I was saying. So that means you're going to need a few things. You're going to need pencil and paper because we are going to be practicing our short annotations today. Four annotations for each of the four paragraphs that are on the screen just now. Let's see. Let's go with like a blue. Good nonfiction. Oh, that's a very skinny line, isn't it? Huh. Interesting. Fascinating. Okay, so here we go. After each of the paragraphs, we're going to be stopping and we're going to be writing a short annotation. Remember, an annotation is just a few words, just a little message to your brain to try and keep track of all the new information that you're reading. If we were to read through all of these paragraphs, by the time we got down to the bottom, oh my goodness, that's too much information to take on. So we break it up, just like the author has done here. They've broken it up into four different paragraphs, and we're going to be thinking about what we've learned from each paragraph and jotting down a short annotation. Let's do this. Excerpt from The Courage to Soar. Kites in Flight. Famous people and their kites. Now that's a very, very interesting section heading, isn't it? So yeah, when I think about famous people, I think about famous people and their instruments, famous people and their sporting equipment that they use. I think about famous scientists and the tools that they use, dentists with their tools as well. But famous people with their kites. I thought kites were just used to have fun with. You know, you take them outside, you fly, let's go fly a kite. But no, apparently famous people can use their kites and have used their kites to do important work, not just have fun. Let's find out who these people are and what they did with their kites. Famous people and their kites. Kites have been used by some very famous people. Leonardo da Vinci was one of these. He is best known for being an artist in Italy, but he was also a scientist. In the late 1400s, he began to study flight. At first, he studied birds. He also flew kites. From these studies, he drew some designs for flying machines. His interest in kites may have led him to study clouds and airflow. Hmm. So, let's think about this. We've got this artist, and this is a long time ago, guys. This is 1400s, so that's 600 years ago in the past. A very, very long time ago. Long before planes had been invented. Way, way before planes had been invented, in fact. But then you have this famous artist, Leonardo da Vinci, and he used his kite. So let's get this right. We've got the subject is Leonardo da Vinci. He used his kite, and what did he use his kite for? That's right. He was in charge. He came up with the idea of using kites to try and create this idea of how a person could fly in the air in a flying machine. Okay, so grab your pencil. I want you to smash the pause button right now. Write down your annotation, including the subject, the predicate, and what it was all about. Go ahead, guys. I'm going to do mine. Gotta make sure I spell the man's name right. That would be embarrassing. Are you done? What'd you get? Let's hear it. Read it out loud for me. Nice. Here's mine. Leonardo da Vinci used kites to design flying machines. Perfect. All right, so we got our first annotation. Now, that was a complete sentence, but it doesn't have to be a complete sentence. Remember, it's just a collection of words from the paragraph to help you remember what you learned from that section. Let's keep going. Alexander Wilson lived in Scotland. Yeah, Scotland. That's where Mr. Scott. He used kites to do experiments. In the mid 1700s, he flew a whole line of kites. His kites were all placed on one line. Next, he put thermometers all along the line. Then he flew the kites. In this way, he measured the temperature at different heights. Oh, interesting. Okay. So let's see what we can put into our annotation. Alexander Wilson. That's the name of the guy in this paragraph that did something with kites. So we got to have his name. And his name could come first in your annotation. Use kites. That's going to be quite popular. We're going to say the same thing for all of these people, I think. But this time, what was he doing? Measuring air temperature. That's right. Go ahead and write down your annotation now. Done. What'd you get? Read it out. Yes, very good. Here's mine. Alexander Wilson used kites to measure air temp. Yeah, I put temp, it's the abbreviation. Remember, just we're writing short annotations. So instead of writing temperature, I put he's measuring air temp. Very good. All right, let's move on. Most people know how Ben Franklin used a kite. He discovered electricity by flying one. In the mid 1700s, he flew a kite in a thunderstorm. He thought that lightning was a form of electricity. He was right. Lightning hit the kite and a key that was hanging from it. With the kite and key, Ben proved that lightning is electricity. Okay, so let's think about this. Who are we talking about now? Benny Franklin. Benny! And what's Benny doing? Well, he's using his kite, and what did he do with that kite? Learned that lightning was electricity. Write that down. Nice work, guys. All right, what'd you get? Read it out. Good. Here's mine. Ben Franklin used kites to prove lightning is electricity. Now, there is an even shorter way of doing that. If you could remember Ben Franklin, because I think he's probably one of the most famous of all the people that we've read, you could just put down kites used to prove lightning is electricity. That would be fine as well. Well, last one. Here we go. It's a little bit longer. Let's see what's happening in this final paragraph. The Niagara Falls Bridge was built with the help of a boy and his kite. The bridge was built in the mid 1800s. To start, the builders had to get a line over the water, but steep cliffs, rapids, and swirling winds made this very hard. Did you spot it? Yeah, right over here. We have one of those things again. You remember what those are called? Footnotes is the first footnote. Now, where do we go to figure out the meaning of the word? And in this case, it's the word rapids. Where do we go on the page? That's right, you go down to the bottom. So here it says rapids, part of a river where the water runs very fast. Ooh, that sounds kind of dangerous. If they're trying to get a rope from one side of the falls to the other side, it has to go across rapids. They just want to get that line over there without having to go through the rapids, which are very, very fast. Okay, now you probably noticed there's two other footnotes somewhere in this last paragraph. It's going to be gorge and slack. So we'll have to keep an eye out for them. Here we go. Someone thought that the problem might be solved by flying a kite over the gorge. There's the word gorge. Let's go down to the bottom of the page to figure out what that footnote means. Here's the number 2 that corresponds to the word in the paragraph. Gorge means a narrow valley with high rocky walls. So, a contest was held. A prize would be given to the first person to fly a kite over the Niagara Gorge. The winner was a young boy named Homan Walsh. Homan took a boat to the Canadian side. From there, he flew his kite high over the river. Then he let it go slack. Now, what does that mean? Slack down here at the bottom, that means loose. Oh, so we let the kite go loose. Okay. It fell on the American side, but the string had broken. Homan had to wait 8 days for the ice to clear from the river before he could go back to the American side and get his kite. He repaired the string and returned to the Canadian side. Once again, he flew his kite and it dropped to the American side. This time it caught and tied to a tree. The builders secured the kite string. Then they began to add heavier and heavier line. Finally, a steel cable stretched across the gorge. Now they could begin to build the bridge. For all his trouble, Homan received the $5 prize. I know, for helping do something really important for the Niagara Falls, you would think you would earn more than just $5 in a contest. But remember, this was mid 1800s, 100 and something years ago. So yeah. Okay, final annotation. Let's see what we've got. We've got Homan Walsh. That's the name of the guy. He did something with a kite, and he got it across Niagara Falls for the bridge. So you got to take those three ideas, put them into your annotation. Go ahead, guys. Done. Last one. Let me hear it. Read it out. Well done. Here's mine. Homan Walsh used kites to help build the Niagara Falls Bridge. Fantastic. Well done, my friends. Keep using annotations to help you when you're reading new information in nonfiction texts. Your job right now, of course, is to answer the multiple choice question and the short answer, snap a picture of your work, and upload it to Seesaw. Fantastic. All right, my friends, enjoy Inside Out Day. And definitely enjoy your hats and accessories. And yeah, and start telling loads and loads of jokes all day long. All right, my friends, from me, Mr. Scott, the Ultimate Champion, I'll see you back here tomorrow. Bye.